Okay. Good morning, everyone. It's Halloween. We're getting
It is
spooky.
Halloween. Good morning.
What up, Phil?
Hello?
Hello to Ruler.
Is this thing
Where
on?
are we? Where are we?
Is
Hello?
this the space of spaces?
This may be the space of spaces. I'm trying to pin some things to the Megatron, and I'm getting a rug this morning, so
Shout out
I
to
may need
Elon.
some assistance with that.
Yeah, I will do.
I'll give it a couple more minutes before we swing into it, and kind of let everyone know what the plan is for the Friday haps.
Hey,
I don't want to FUD, but this is the first space, right? This is not the second. I haven't missed anything.
This is number one.
Let's
First of many.
go!
Yes, sir. Ruler, how are you doing today?
Bro, I'm good. I'm good. I'm back in the office, finally getting caught up with all my work. So, less stress on my shoulders and I can function again somewhat.
Attaboy. Love to hear it.
Yeah, working currently with a XRP project so I can bring some whitelists to the H bar homies so we can
Nice.
keep this synergy going. And it is legit. It's been vetted, it's been stamped and approved. So I'm going to put that into motion here shortly. And if you want to, man, we can do some whitelist giveaways here if you guys are feeling generous. If not, and this is not the space for it, absolutely cool with that as well. Just wanted to offer it up.
Yeah, no, thank you. I think I just want to give you specifically kudos, and I know you're not alone in this kind of push, but you were doing so much work for kind of bridging the networks, mainly XRP at the time. And kudos, because cross-chain awareness is so important, and making those connections and letting them know, hey, like you can still participate on multiple networks. You don't have to be married to one. That's something that we are very kind of passionate about with Orbit, and we really want to make that bridge and bridging as seamless and as frictionless as possible. So just thank you again for kind of approaching it from the NFT community side of things.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. All I can do is open up doors, as I always say, and whoever wants to walk in through them with me, feel free to do so. But there is no gatekeeping unless you're a bad actor. Then we're gonna keep you out of these connections. But otherwise, we've seen some momentums come and go in the past where we network with other projects on different chains and it just kind of fizzles out. I refuse to let that happen this time because the XRP homies are very like-minded and intuitive like we are. So I think it's just an extension to the family already had. We just never knew was there. So it's just a continuous back and forth where they're buying up our stuff, we're buying up theirs. So we're showing good faith, they're showing good faith, and it's just natural vibes that doesn't have to be really pushed inorganically. Everything just feels natural in the way it should be. So we're just gonna keep fostering those relationships and build up more.
No, just like again, you're doing it. The fact that you've somehow got Doginals interested in Hedera is freaking nutso. And I know that's again not just you. It's definitely a group of amazing individuals here on the network that are making these connections. But just keep doing it because it's working. And I guess this is we've got some people in here, so I can kind of open up into it. This is number one of the hub. So welcome everybody, party people, degenerates, and suits. We're going to be joined by the man himself, Weston, the ever so handsome Phil, and myself, Juno. And the main premise for the hub is to keep the tangible growth and direction of retail on Hedera at the front of conversation, because we are quite literally in unprecedented times here on the network, and a lot of us have been here for a long time. And there is just too much movement to really be stuck on anything that is not forward progress because it's happening. The flow for the hub, it's likely going to follow Orbit and HashPack updates. We'll dive into kind of Hedera events that are happening on the network. And then we may open it up into an open floor, invite people up to ask questions, and maybe what's coming soon for Orbit and HashPack as well. But my kind of big passion for this is that having the number one wallet and trading terminal have a continued presence is pretty good optics to the rest of the crypto space, and I'm really excited to facilitate this. And with that, I'll stop talking and pass it over to Phil.
you're awesome, man. I told you, you would kill it, man. Really happy to be starting this, man. It's always fun to be starting new shows and even all the best, with great friends. Looking forward to that. It's always good. Look at all the homies like down there in attendance, Higher Ground, Fat Boys, Smack, and Velko, Lady H, H Bob, of course Juno, Joe the Ruler, all on stage, all having fun because the time is now, man. I feel we're reaching like the ecosystem maturity we've been lingering and wanting for so long in the last 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and I feel like this is our time. Like infrastructure is here, the cats are here. Ready, like you said, we're ready to go cross chain, we're ready to go raw, we're ready for retail, we're ready for what's to come, man. And those spaces really are extremely important to be gathering great information. And again, great info, good people, quality individuals, and good use cases, man. Here for it.
Absolutely. And Weston, how are you?
Doing fantastic. Looking forward to tonight. I'm sure a lot of you are doing some maybe Halloween parties, dressing up, going out. I think this is my first time co-hosting on a Hedera Spaces.
Yeah. So a lot of us know Weston from his kind of presence on crypto Twitter, but I do believe this is quite literally one of the first times he's actually talked. So I'm trying to pull him out of the shell, and we will be a kind of unified front with Orbit in public spaces moving forward. So let's jump right on into it. With Orbit, kind of an immediate update. We just kind of duplicated audit and security results underneath the bimodal within Orbit. So now when you're discovering tokens, you can get a quick readout of security and audit information on that token. And then once you go into buy it, that information is then replicated again. So it's readily available. I believe we're actively working on kind of more clean and advanced charting within MemeJob, or the scan page that we recently launched. And fuzzy search, or being able to search tokens by name, should be coming very soon. There's most certainly other small things that have been done, but those are kind of the big ticket things that I think a lot of us have been waiting for.
Nothing but great feedback we've been having also for Orbit, like from all across the board, especially from our community champion. I don't know if Cube is Cube. Yes, Cube in here. Yeah, he always preaches everything, how it's really seamless and easy to be going on the platform, man. Shout out to you guys, man. Really paved the way to something really great. And UX is really a banger too. So yeah, GG's. Well done. Keep on crushing it.
Yeah, thank you. The UX, I'm kind of working directly with our engineer Warlock and overseeing kind of design guides and principles for it. It is definitely still in beta, and we're both aware of that, but we are very passionate and excited to clean it up and shape it into something great. It's kind of like an ongoing thing that is never not being discussed between us. It is like what we collaborate on daily. It's one of my favorite parts of working at Orbit.
And just from my perspective, like I'm very proud and impressed of what we've been able to do. Because I mean, going back, I mean, say in the last 4 to 6 months is really when Orbit's started its development into what it is today. And a lot of us haven't been doing this, full time. It's been more of like a part-time side gig that we've been working on. Transitioning in 2026, that's going to change. And so I think like with what we've been able to accomplish, integrating Saucer Swap V1, pools, Saucer Swap V2, just recently released Meme Job into production on the beta. So we've done a lot of things within the 4 to 6 months of just our core group just working on this on the side. I didn't mention, but we have released also, on-chain limit orders as well as the instant buy feature that allows you to, purchase and trade without additional pop-up confirmation. And so I think like with what we have, like we have a very skilled team dedicated to delivering, cutting edge options and features that are available on other chains. So like I don't know about you guys, but like I think we've done a great job for the last 4 to 6 months, and really excited to see how that transitions when we put more effort and time into going, making this our full time gig going into 2026.
Yeah, very well said. We are like actively kind of shifting gears. I recently downscaled my personal business so that I could focus on Orbit full time and free up bandwidth for that. Same with our front end engineer Warlock. He also quit his other business to focus on Orbit full time. So between both of us,
bullish.
we really, yeah, no, it's cracked. Between both of that, there's going to be a couple things. I'd say speed of development in app is going to rapidly increase because he can actually focus on it full time. And then our presence on crypto Twitter between Orbit and me as Juno will both be going up, and I'm really excited that with that I'm enjoying it quite a lot. So with that, I think the most obvious no-brainer thing is, well, what's going on with HashPack?
A lot, man. A lot. We're absolutely killing it. Like for the last, and of course, like HashPack's been killing it even before I joined, like a year, almost, was it a year ago? Almost a year ago. But we got lots of stuff going on. It's been fun. You know, the balance change, you know, has been really something that's been like clutch and very well received, like all around, like great feedback and whatnot. Like Pluto killed it, but that's just fun. You just open your wallet and boom, you're already seeing like what's going on. Token that are trending also directly in the swap section has been something that folks have been demanding for a while now, and it's good because again, it really streamlines the entire process of you not having to take more time as to know what's going on. So we've seen it like with SocialFi, we've seen it also on the feed because there's definitely what we call like an algorithm fatigue right now. So people just want the juice like straight off the bat. You know, you just open your app and you have straight up the juice. What's going on? Balance change, boom. Trending tokens, boom. So that's two things we've been really adamant to be crushing because again, saving folks time when we're having this great experience directly in app. And yeah, we got a good end of the year coming up too, man. We got some great AI components again that Tyler pushed in preview. Was it on Genfinities? I believe it was in June. So that's going to be great because again, AI is absolutely on fire right now. So yes, it's fun components to be integrating to an app, but also it's really, really fun like to be onboarding new folks because nothing beats like having, you know, just an AI companion just right there answering your question 24/7, or just streamlining the whole process of just like abstracting all the verbiage, abstracting all the friction point, or at least a lot of them, especially when you want to, okay, I just want to be sending bars to my buddy. I want to be sending USDC. I want to swap in app and get rewarding and pack back rewards, right? So that coming, we got also good stuff around small audience. So if you got a small audience, medium audience, absolutely stay frosty, stay tuned because we absolutely most positively got you. And yeah, man, we're crushing whole entire team, man. You know, it's same as you guys. You know, there's no days, no calls that is not done 110%. So that's what's so cool about it, right? So I feel at least
Absolutely.
we're killing it. My job is to press levers where people are feeling great stuff towards all the work that's been done in the back end, front end, and everything that's behind the curtain. So hopefully you guys like it. And again, yeah, really happy to be here again with you guys. And yeah, end of the year is looking great.
Yeah, we're bullish on having you again. I personally love the optics of us at HashPack kind of having this joint effort on the network consistently. And yeah, I can't freaking be more bullish on Pluto. That dude is a wizard, to say it lightly. I've
He
been hanging out with him
genuinely
for a long
is.
time.
He's awesome. I will curse. He genuinely is fucking great, and that's and like uh, I'm biased, but the whole team is like that. It's just
Yeah.
and same thing for Orbit. The same thing for other partners that we have like throughout the ecosystem. It's just fun. Like just like quality individuals, just killing it. Like killers with great heart. It's just it's a great balance to have. And yeah. Shout out to Pluto. Yeah, he's awesome.
So we hit some pretty historic happenings this
Yeah.
year, this week with the ETF. I think a lot of us, you know, it's been rumored, it's been talked about for quite some time, but for it to actually happen is nutso for someone that's been on this network for 5-6 years at this point. And to pick a network 6 years ago, and sure, we can talk about studying conviction. Everyone here that's been here clearly did study conviction. And it feels pretty freaking vindicated to have something like this actually happen. And it's just one of many kind of balls that are currently moving in our favor for the network. And yeah, I mean, it's crazy. At the end of the day, we're one of the first 3 cryptos to ever get picked up by institutions, and the sentiment around that is getting more and more clear.
1000%, and we got momentum. It's absolutely wild, and it really it showcases like the entire network as to what we're capable of doing. It also acknowledges every single piece of work we've been crafting. Sometimes we're in doubt. We're like, oh yeah,
Right.
but also this brings a measure of clarity as to, yo guys, we got you, and this just makes sense. Yeah, super happy, and it's fun to see excitement back also on the feed on what we call
Oh,
CT.
totally.
It's just great. Like you're seeing smiles, you're seeing folks like being hyped, you're seeing folks like just like bringing back alive like this excitement we have for the ecosystem. So I love it. We clearly got momentum. Autumn momentum is right here, and yeah, the ETF is really, really good.
Yeah, I'm basically like bull posting on my personal Twitter because it warrants it. Like it's kind of time to be doing that. You know, Tate shared an awesome metric, I believe yesterday, that within days of that ETF, 0.5% of the total HBAR supply has already been consumed and locked up in these ETFs. That's just been in a couple days. That's insane. At the end of the day, that's nutso, and I am so excited to see that grow. What's up, Joe?
Hey, hey, looking forward to this being the best end of the week space in crypto over
Hey,
time.
what's up,
So
Joe?
yeah, thanks for getting it rolling. It's a hell of a main crew up top, Weston. Thanks for coming out and using your voice. There's so many times I've wanted to hear your input in spaces, so this is really cool. Yeah, all the kudos that you give to DeRuler and Cube. They deserve every bit of it, along with so many others. But yeah, the ETF, it's exciting, and I, it's weird. I'm seeing a lot of excitement for Hedera on X and other places, but I want the people in the Hedera community to know how bullish this all is. So price might be going sideways and your NFTs might not be going up in value and you might have some struggle with your memes, but I think overall the sentiment should be super high. It's an amazing time right now. To hit on the ETFs a little bit, um, what happened is Canary started with $1 million worth of HBAR in their pool, so not a lot, considering when you're starting an ETF with shares, but I think they've gone in this week in 5 days. The inflows, the shares are still about the same price, but what people are missing is that the inflows, I think there's 38 million HBAR right there now. So that's that many more shares. So 38% increase or 380 times more HBAR in the Canary ETF in shares than we had on Monday morning when they launched. So it could be from a lot of things, but from people smarter than me, I'm getting that money's flowing in and they're either um, buying more HBAR and putting it into shares, or it's possible that the foundation could be feeding them HBAR and they're putting them into shares. But the point is that the share price is holding strong and it's up to, I think, 38 million. So it's very positive, very bullish, very strong sign through the week. And if you compare it to the Litecoin ETF, we're miles ahead of them already.
Yeah, no, well said, and definitely want to kind of pair it what you touched on with it's really easy to get stuck on charts, but the developer sentiment right now on Hedera and developer activity is nutso. And one thing that really stands out, back to bringing it back to Pluto, is I think it was after consensus he made a tweet saying that he's never been this bullish on the network before, and that hasn't stopped. Like for those that are building right now, we are all excited, and that's important. So if you're ever getting doomed out about the chart, you should really think about why the people building here are currently excited. And I can tell you right now, most of us at the company are not looking at charts because what's happening is bigger than the day-to-day price action, and it's extremely obvious to those that have been here.
Yeah, I don't have enough hundreds for that. And just looking at attendance, like everyone's who's attending right now, and it just makes sense. I think I was having again this conversation with community champions earlier on, where I believe like that right now we're having probably a shift as to what CT represents right now, because I see a clear disconnect in terms of it seems to be dormant like a lot at the moment. Whereas like a single piece of news, like I don't know, say 2 years ago, 18 months or whatever, would have sent like the whole vast array of CT, crypto, Twitter, whatever, in happiness and hype and emojis and oh my god. But right now, I just feel like it's stale. When I mean, every single piece of data, of news, of compliance, of integrations of what we call Web3 right now, there's a lot of stuff that is happening right now that's what we wanted. That's so we've arrived at this point, or at least we're definitely accelerated to that point. Yet CT is
Oh
not
yeah.
responding accordingly to that, or in correlation to that. So yeah, totally, 1000% agree with that. Whereas if you're feeling down right now, or if you're feeling like that you don't really feel about, I would 1000% like fade a tad CT and go into teams that are on stage, teams that are
Yeah.
crafting great stuff, teams that are crafting amazing use cases. You all know who they are, and it's crazy how when you stick into those circles, like the vibe is so different that it's like you're hyped just for being there again, because every single meeting, every single call, every single use case really matters.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting what I think is happening. Before we bring it back to Hedera, Solana is currently witnessing like the most bloodbath PvP I've ever witnessed there, where companies are acquiring each other, fighting for market share, trying to be the best, and that I think is causing quite a bit of fatigue amongst retail over there. And then you pair that recently with BNB and CZ pushing Aster in the narrative of perps, kind of becoming what the hot topic is this cycle. Um, and then that inherently pulling activity away from Solana. It seems like the popular, more noisy networks right now are almost doomed, and I think that's kind of why we're feeling this like broader sentiment in the crypto space be less than what we're feeling, right? So that's all happening. Meanwhile, HBAR is getting an ETF. It's really hard for us to feel that same way that they're feeling because we are just not experiencing that fatigue. Like we're invigorated over here. And yeah, I guess bringing it back to Hedera, cross-chain happenings. Very exciting. We recently had Stargate and Layer Zero come online, and one pretty sweet kind of metric about that we've seen. Saucer Swap shared this a couple days ago. The HBAR wrapped ETH daily volume is up 460%. The USDC wrapped ETH daily volume is up 172%. So it's just amazing to see that the volume and liquidity is coming into Hedera. It's growing at pretty great numbers and great rates. What's next in that, I believe, is Axelar Squid Router will be coming online for Hedera early November. I believe that's what was relayed to a handful of people. And again, back to what we were saying with Deruler and kind of this conjoined effort to make the entry into HBAR easier. We are super excited for Squid Router to come online with Orbit. There's a lot that opens us up to get into and offer, and we're just excited for that to come online. We've already kind of started doing development on a couple features involving bridging and Squid Router. So yeah, does anyone have kind of cross-chain stuff to get hyped about?
I guess I just wanted to add on to it, like going back to what Phil had brought up. It's very strange, like a weird dynamic to see how bearish, in a sense, crypto Twitter is right now, not just on HBAR, but the whole altcoin ecosystem. Because if you just think of HBAR, for example, last cycle, we didn't have really any DeFi infrastructure or foundational applications compared to today. Back then we had, I think Saucer Swap was just launching towards the end of altcoin season. We had HashPack, but compared to today, I mean, we have Bonzo. We have a lot of different bridge applications, such as the Stargate one that just launched out. We have Orbit that we're developing. There's a lot of stuff that's in the works, including Meme Job and a lot of other players that I haven't mentioned compared to last cycle. And we're sitting at a state where we're almost twice the size in market cap and holders almost as the peak of last cycle. And all season hasn't even started yet. And so it's sort of like weird for me to see how bearish a lot of retail investors are, retail users are, with the state of like where development is compared to previous historical times. But yeah, going back to what you just said, Juno, with the integration of Layer Zero and things like Stargate and future Squid Router, it opens up a lot of things. I know, like for example, for me, one of the most exciting things that I'm looking forward to is the fact that on Orbit we only let users create ECDSA wallets, which are EVM compatible. So what that means is that when these bridges go live, and as we have more, I'll call them routings or portals to other networks, we can use this one ECDSA wallet across all these EVM compatible chains. So like you can create a wallet on Hedera, and it can also be used on Ethereum or Base Network or anything that's EVM relatable without having to create another wallet. So, like, if any of you have used a trading terminal on Solana, for example, they don't use the same key structure. And so, when you're in there, you have to create a Solana wallet. And then you also have to create, let's say you're wanting to trade perps, you have to create an EVM compatible wallet. So now you're responsible for knowing your two different wallet IDs and keys. Whereas if you start day one on Hedera using the EVM compatible version, it's universal as long as you're interacting with the EVM compatible chains. So that's one thing that I'm looking forward to as bridge opportunities open up and expand.
No, well said. I think it's super sticky design that we've kind of big brained with Chopper over the last couple months, and yeah, it's a huge strength of the Orbit wallet right now. Cube, what's up? Got your hand raised.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Yeah, I just well, first off, wanted to say that yeah, I love what you guys are doing. Obviously, you know that very well. Same thing goes with HashPack, obviously. But I just wanted to add on to two things there. First off, what Weston just dropped is like Omega level knowledge, and you should give everyone a little taste of like what you can expect in the future. It's gonna be wild, and I'm so here for it. I can't wait. And number two is in terms of like sentiment, right? Like bearish sentiment. I feel like that's very limited to like X. If you expand your web of like what you're looking and whose voices you're listening to, if you get out of X and you go into other social media platforms, whether it's Facebook, Insta, TikTok, you name it, where I guess where you can say the crypto normies kind of hang out, they're bullish. So just, it's all about where you're listening, where you're putting your feelers out, right? And yeah, it's been interesting to see the contrast there. I just wanted to make that known. At least if you're only hearing bearish stuff, take a look out, and I guarantee you'll see some bullish sentiment.
Yeah,
This is
thank you for
true.
saying that, man. Like, echo chambers are very real, and being in a silo is extremely real, and uh, it's kind of self-imposed. You just have to look elsewhere.
Yeah, personally, I think like one of the best indicators isn't necessarily looking at crypto Twitter and what the average retail user is saying. Look at what large scale projects are doing, what the L1s are doing, who they're investing in. There's a lot of acquisitions happening on Solana, Base, Ethereum. Specifically, right now, the trend is token launch pads and trading terminals, is what we've seen. And so there's a lot of money being poured into acquiring these sort of DeFi applications. I know we just had the perpetual DEX run that happened about a month ago. And so there's a lot of money being invested into projects that are building this type of infrastructure. And it's telling you the players that are running the show are truly believing that, this is the future. We're not done yet. There's a big cycle ahead. And so I think that's who you need to be paying attention to, not necessarily, some Cole or influencer on X who's not behind a major project developing.
Yeah, no, completely agree. Now, one thing about Orbit is we are inherently focused on trading tokens in HTS specifically. That being said, I think it's a disservice to not give kudos to the Hedera NFT scene, because we've seen quite literal innovation happen with Dead Pixels that is now being I don't want to say copied, but they're trend setting for the broader space, and that is insane. So I'd love if Phil could maybe kind of give his kind of bull answer to that, because I know
Around the
he's had.
forever mint, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Extremely bullish. And yeah, I mean, copying, let's just say it, they've been copied a bit, right? We won't say by who, but they're being
Yeah.
copied a tad. Absolutely bullish, man. It's been fun. It's been fun. And again, that's another that's another great component, that's been born in the era. That's so cool, man. And they've been crushing it since so long, man, through waves and through phases, through the downs, through the ups, man. It's hard for any entrepreneurs out there, especially when you're into the NFT section of things. So coming up with that precise angle to it, and we spoke about that over Pack the Mic yesterday with Patricia from Santex. But it's so good to have those new experiences. Isn't that great? Like, you're gonna be minting, you're gonna be having fun, you're gonna be involved into a cultural event that is tied to people that you love and enjoy. But man, the new feeling to be accessing those experiences is brand new. Firmament was born on Hedera. Aren't you
Yeah.
bullish enough? That is so cool, and that's going to
Yeah.
pursue. That's gonna transcend time, and that's going to be inked into the HBAR lore like absolutely forever. It's going to be on graph, it's going to be on chain, call it whatever. But that's what's so cool, and those original ideas are what really are making us a standalone spot just to be, yo, we are confident now. Here's the infrastructure that we got now. We got DeFi, we got marketplaces, we got launch pads, we got trading, we got an amazing wallet, And so let's just go out there and see what are the XRP folks doing? Cool. Let's just bounce back ideas. Yeah, we got a firmament. Oh yeah, did you think about XYZ? Good. Oh, let's go back to ETH.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big boys over ETH. Hey guys, look, we got infrastructure now. We got, we're not jealous, and especially we can compare and be like, potentially, let's just have some fun. So yeah, absolutely, Forever Mint was an amazing event that they've been crafting for a while now. Shout out to the DPGC, man, they've been killing.
Yeah, and just to say, like, the Forever Mint honestly kind of turned my head. I was pretty big into NFTs during the bubble on ETH years ago, and once it kind of imploded, I largely wrote off NFTs, and I didn't see how it would really rally. And I remember seeing the volume that Dead Pixels did shortly after the Forever Mint, and I remember sitting there looking at it, and I was like, I love being proved wrong. I loved being surprised. Like, it's just exciting to think that you might have a good idea of like a trend or a fad, and to just be proven wrong. That gets me so excited. I love everything that's going on with Dead Pixels. Huge innovators in the space, and they've been around forever. And then before I hand it over to DeRuler, I just want to kind of shed some light on Legends of the Past. I know that you were pretty excited about it. We were talking about it earlier.
Yeah, they're really good. Again, another like their collaborators, their partners, like inside the ecosystem. But again, big shout out to the team because again, when you're crafting in the downs and in the ups, when there's no spotlight, that's really where it really gets rewarding, in my opinion. And those guys have been crushing it like for so long, again for 2 years and a half plus for sure. And Basil and the team, are bringing a great product. They're not only bringing a great product that is outside and beyond the realm of what we call Web3, they're bringing a great game. It's just a great game. So yes, there's
Yeah.
Web3 components in there. Yes, there's awesome ads from which you can claim. I think it's Keys LOP token on there, and it's really good because it forwards you straight back into a beautiful like circular stuff where it's back to exposed and whatever. So there's a measure of really great awareness, brand awareness that's in there. It's multiplayer. It is really smooth components that you already know. And again, it really abstracts the fact that you don't feel like you're playing a Web3 game. You're just having a great experience through a great product. So that's that's where it's at. That's where you're getting the next 100,000 users, right? So yeah, shout out to them. I think they're coming up with the next tournament, probably this
Right.
November. They're just killing
That's
it.
right.
They're just
I
killing
was
it.
about to say it, and you guys better be ready because if you think I'm not going to be on that leaderboard again, I sure am. I already got a teammate lined up. We're going to dominate, so bring it.
Love it. Love it. DeRuler, what's up?
Yeah, I don't think Phil did the Foreverman justice, so I want to hype it up a little bit more as well. Damn it, Phil.
Yeah,
No,
please.
just kidding. Obviously, the ghosts created the Foreverman not just for themselves. It was intended to be so other projects can implement it and use it as well, so we can bring more volume, not just to the Dead Pixels, but to anybody interested in implementing it. And the key with the Foreverman is you have to have a community behind your project before you decide to go ahead with it. Because if you're putting your Foreverman into place and you don't have a community to back it up, and or you're doing cross-chain ventures, it's just not going to work out for you. So make sure it's implemented properly. But here's the thing. The Forever Mint is an onboarding tool because typically a project mints out, right? And then they're put into this box where they have to now suddenly do more things they're probably not comfortable doing, such as adding utility or finding other ways to keep people engaged. So that's just not something art projects want to engage with, right? So the Forever Mint enables them to just do what they want to do, which is art, and focus on art with the community. And people that have missed the original mint typically have to go to the floor, right, to be able to become part of the project. In this instance, you don't have to. You can just go to the a launchpad and mint your own NFT and feel like, boom, you're part of the project just as if it were launching today. And that is a major, major onboarding tool that I'm using to my advantage because I can tell people, hey, you didn't miss anything, bro. You're actually early. Come on over, get your mint, and put the NFT into your wallet. So now they don't feel like they're sidelined or they're feeling that. That lag of, oh man, I missed it. I have to come and now scoop up a floor NFT I'm not even wanting to
Yeah.
vibe with. So that's the major onboarding tool that I have at my arsenal to be able to get us more cross-chain people involvement.
No, you nailed it. Like, it really is genius onboarding, because I think that has been the biggest friction for NFT communities at large is, well, if you're not in the know, then you're late. And now that's not really a thing. And I love that. HBar Joe, you got your hand up. I don't know if that's from earlier or if you'd like to contribute.
Yeah. So um, I had a question from before, but I'll support the support the Forever Mint wholeheartedly. When the Ghost did it, I was a little unsure of how it would work. And then you see it in action and you see the volume and you're like, oh yeah, this is the best idea in NFT history. I mean, bar none, in my opinion. Um, and it's great that they didn't have promised utility and didn't make a lot of promises for the future, but they've completely executed on everything that they've attempted. So that's really cool. I had a question. Weston was talking about how orbit's going to work, and this I've probably been saving this question for 3 weeks since I knew that these spaces were going to start. So you guys are more technical than me, so this has been my question. What is stopping, or what are the limitations for being able to trade in orbit and go into my hash pack, or trade in um, XRP or base for NFTs and go into my hash pack and toggle between different chains and see everything I have in one place? Why hasn't that happened? And the next part is, can it happen, and what would it take for it to happen?
Excellent question before Weston kind of takes it.
I guess just so I understand, are you referencing, if somebody has like an EVM compatible wallet, what's stopping us from having a portfolio tracker to where all their assets are located in one page? Like if they wanted to see their XRP ledger versus HBAR versus base all in one location? Or
100%. I think that it would unite. We've spoken about cross-chain and interoperability forever, but I think it would it- the the metrics for people participating truly cross-chain, if they could have everything in one place, would be through the top of any chart you could imagine. So why can't
yes, I
we
don't.
yet?
So I don't think it's a question of why can't we yet. I guess it's more of why hasn't anyone done it yet. From my perspective, it can be done now. I personally wouldn't want to do it on Orbit until, for example, we had XRP Ledger or base support to where you could trade those tokens within that same wallet. But there's nothing stopping me, for example, for someone spinning up a ECDSA wallet that's compatible with all these chains and saying, "Here's your portfolio. I just need uh, an Oracle and query route to look up all the current prices and token balances across these chains for that specific EVM address." But that's all possible today. It's just personally for Orbit's application, I wouldn't want to make that available until we supported Base or XRP Ledger. But it's definitely something that we've discussed as like a future goal.
And just to kind of add to that, I think it's growing pains too for the network, right? And back to the conversation about being siloed, and I don't want to use echo chamber for this topic, but there hasn't really been a good pipeline that even makes bridging over frictionless. Like these bridges are coming online right now. So why it hasn't happened yet is I don't think the developers here have really seen the demand for it, but that's rapidly changing. It's definitely, adding on to what Weston said, it's something that we're definitely chatting about. It's part of our scope and it's part of the vision. Absolutely.
Love
Yeah, and
it.
that's
Thank
one
you.
thing. Like I know we have multiple bridges now with Stargate and Hashport, a couple others coming online that I'm looking forward to. I think the main thing that's missing is a bridge solution. I think you mentioned it earlier, Juno, but one that can go asset to asset. It's not just wrap ETH to HBAR, and that's the only route to a network. The one I'm looking forward to is, okay, I have HBAR. I want to be able to trade that HBAR for 40 or 50 different assets wherever I want to go. And that's going to make bridging more accessible and onboarding more accessible to any user on any Web3 protocol. And that's coming online very shortly. Um, and so I think that's going to open a lot of opportunities to what you brought up, HBAR Joe.
Thanks. That's awesome. Yeah, I think generally, um, people want things easier and less stressful. It's stressful when you go to another chain and try to learn how to do it. So it makes complete sense that it's just not time yet, and there hasn't been the
Yeah.
demand. But I think ultimately, that's kind of been my hope for 4 years now, is like to have everything in one place. Just like I turn on my TV and I can see Hulu and YouTube TV and um, all of the apps, and then also go look at my local programming, and I don't have to go flip switches like you had to at the very beginning and use different remotes. And I look at my crypto portfolio, whether it be NFTs or um, fungible tokens, the same way. That's the day I dream of.
Yeah, I think that's well said. One thing, we made a design choice to make the Orbit wallet pretty limited in scope. That design choice isn't we're not really questioning that quite yet. We may look into something else down the road. But in terms of cross-chain tokens, that absolutely fits in our scope with our current Orbit wallet. And like a global or a broader portfolio P&L analytics readout for what you're holding across chains. If we can figure that out, I think that absolutely fits into us. I believe that we're seeing terminals on other networks that do offer cross-chain support. I believe they offer things like that. So we are taking quite a bit of inspiration from the market leaders in trading terminals, and we love it because they've kind of figured out a lot of what's in demand, and we can just follow suit.
Yeah, I just want to put a quick note and then we'll turn it over to Pluto. I know you have your hand up.
I'm
Um,
excited.
because one of the things about being a terminal is we want to have a solution that is sort of one interface that connects you to all the applications on the network, whether it's on the native chain or maybe something that you want to have access to on another protocol. Um, and so, like, if we're not supporting you today, I know, like I said, we have Sausage Swap V1, V2, and Meme Job. That doesn't mean that we're not looking at adding something that's currently existing on the network tomorrow. So I just want everyone to be aware of that. That the goal is to be able to connect to everything available as we progress.
Yeah, it's a huge part of our value prop is that we can slot in and connect all of these existing solutions. And this is one thing before I hand it over to Pluto that me and Rocket or May from HashPack are completely aligned on, and I'm pretty sure Weston is too, is an ecosystem that leverages each other is inherently stronger and way stickier. And we are building with that in mind, 100%. So we're really excited to, as we grow, to scale who we're connected to, who we're offering, and more than anything, it's just kind of bridging the user base and the volume and the activity on the network. And it exposes people to maybe trading in a pool on a certain DEX, and they might not even know that they're doing that. And that's great because it gives that DEX volume. It's these trading terminals are great. Like it really does make activity in a network more fluid amongst the different solutions. And with that said, hello Pluto.
Hey guys, how's it going? Sorry, I'm a bit late jumping up here.
No, thanks, man.
So,
How's it going?
Yo, I just kind of wanted to weigh in on the discussion there about kind of cross-chain assets and stuff. I think what one of the big things that we look at from like a design point of view is you can either kind of go really deep on a single chain or support a bunch of kind of EVM chains, and like we've had to kind of make the decision to, you know, either go all in on kind of Hedera support and its native services versus kind of branching out to all these other chains. And like it hit, like historically it's been a bit weird as well, because like, you know, not to get too technical, but like the ED account types weren't as compatible as like the ECDSA account types when it comes to like supporting that type of behavior. And like it gets really weird when you start talking about like the UX and stuff, because like even just like sending an NFT on Hedera is totally different than sending an NFT on Ethereum. And like allowances, secure trade, like all this stuff, it compounds very quickly when you start to get into the weeds of it. But at the same time, it is definitely like a discussion going on now that kind of ECDSA seems to kind of be what people are rotating into. So yeah, there's a lot of technical reasons that it's complicated, but I do agree it would be very nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think it would be rad. And I can't really give enough kudos to HashPack as an ecosystem wallet. That was a huge reason why I advocated that we build an Orbit wallet in the way that it was, is we don't have to deliver something that is already great. Like HashPack's got that solved. So we can tailor our wallet to our own needs and our own UX demands within Orbit to best facilitate the goal of Orbit, which is frictionless, fast, informed trading. And I like that. I like that because we're doing something different, we can make a design choice like that for our UX while not feeling like, oh, well, we need to be competitive with HashPack. There's no reason for that. HashPack is solving and has already solved a lot of what makes a wallet great. It's my favorite wallet in all of Web3, and I've been on 3 or 4 different chains at this point. So that was a huge reason maybe why, if you've gotten to Orbit and you've wondered why the wallet operations are so limited, it's because Orbit is tailored with trading tokens. Now, that being said, we do have a couple NFTs that we've offered, and we are building out kind of a proper way to view which NFTs you're holding and the benefits and the rewards that are being applied when you're trading in Orbit. That hasn't been built out yet, but that probably is going to be the extent of NFT information in Orbit. I don't really think we want to. It just doesn't make sense. If our focus is trading tokens, it doesn't really make sense to view NFTs in that platform.
And just for clarity, solely Orbit NFTs, not other NFTs.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So,
Cube.
yeah,
Hey,
Cuba, what's up?
Just wanted to clarify. So, for the NFTs, I was part of that discussion. I think when we were talking about like the what to see there, and are we going to be seeing like, I guess, which ones you got, what your multiplier is, you know, all those stats along with it, or is it just going to highlight? Like, can you give us a picture of how that's going to look?
Yeah, I think there will be a graphic image of the NFTs that you're holding and the readout of what those NFTs are applying to your account in Orbit, because that's important. That's huge information, right? So we've known that needs to come, and it is in our backlog. It is happening for sure. Yeah,
Let's
excited.
go. That's fantastic. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the last Hedera events that got recently announced is HederaCon in Miami, which is really exciting. I haven't attended HederaCon yet. We haven't really been at a place of building, I'd say, until this year. But I'm pretty excited about flying out to Miami for the first time, Weston. We've chatted a little bit with both HashPack and HGraph. HGraph really likes what we're doing, leveraging them. And if you're not aware, Orbit is almost entirely built on HGraph's infrastructure. I cannot give enough kudos to their team. They're great. Love Brandon. And they've kind of offered, depending on where we're at growth-wise with Orbit, you know, we could share a booth with HGraph as one of their customers, which we would love because that's very relevant to us. It's a great way to show off what HGraph is capable of. We've chatted with HashPack. I would love to be like a neighboring booth with HashPack. That would just make me happy.
it'd be a nice day.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, no, those live events are really cool, man. I call them like face-to-face events. It's gonna be fun, especially in Miami, right? This year's over Denver was a fun one, man. Again, it really acknowledges the whole thing of just like, wow, this is real. There's actually humans like behind the PFP or behind the calls or behind the whatever. It really empowers the whole thing that we're doing right now. Every single connection between like, it becomes really even more powerful, right? So yeah, absolutely looking forward to it. It's going to be a great time.
I know, well said.
It's gonna be my first one too, and it's in my home state, so you better believe I'm gonna be there, and I can't wait to meet each and every one of you face to face and shake your
Yeah.
hand.
No, it's gonna be great. And we have a member down in the listening. His name's Koza. He's kind of our Discord demon, we call him. We've worked with him for a handful of years, and he's just a great community-focused guy. He kind of reminds me of Phil in a lot of ways. And he's in Florida, so we're really excited to kind of link up with him. And he'll be coming out, I'm sure.
I didn't know that. That's awesome. Wonder if he's close to me or not.
Well, let's find out.
Oh no, we ain't gonna dox him on here. Well, I'll take care of it in DMs.
Sounds good. So we're kind of wrapping up. I'd like to kind of close out the flow with what's coming for Orbit and HashPack. We've briefly talked on a handful of things of what's to come with Orbit, mostly being fuzzy search, which is being able to search tokens by name. That's happening actively. I think it's probably going to get pushed this week. Proper advanced clean charting when you're viewing meme job tokens. That is also supposed to be getting pushed this week. And in terms of like major features, I can't really talk about too much stuff there, but I would say that the Squid router coming online is going to enable us to keep moving forward with pushing out cross-chain and offering cross-chain support. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome for us. We got AI components coming up soon sometimes. We also got, if you got small audience, medium audience, we absolutely got you, man. This is going to be a banger. Also, it's going to be great. More UX stuff, more fireworks, more even better flow, better stuff. Keep your eyes peeled.
And lastly, just remembered, the Orbit team spaces. So right now we really just have me and Weston up here and Koza's listening along. We are planning an actual team space / AMA. It'll be coordinated between Reddit and X, like an X spaces. Because both of our developers are active and want to be active and they want to be known by you guys. So we do want that conversation to happen where you guys can ask the more technical questions to the people that are building it or building out Orbit. That's realistically probably going to happen mid-November. I think we are settling on a Monday to start off the week. And the reason why it's not happening like next week, for instance, is we want to clean up Meme Job, and we are working with Meme Job to kind of coordinate an actual marketing push for our integration. And we're dropping a video. I don't know if anyone's, we haven't shared that video, but I shared like a mobile update video a couple weeks ago. So we will have some marketing content to properly push that Meme Job. And I think once we get that out of the door, then we can kind of free up bandwidth to do a proper team spaces for everyone.
Hey, we'll 1000% be pushing this and be there to represent, man, with pleasure.
Thank
I'm
you.
looking forward to testing that out.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be sweet for sure. So with that, this is shaping up to close out Uptober perhaps. Thank you to everybody that kind of made it out today. This is the first of many, and we're looking forward to the next one.
That was awesome. Again, appreciate the invitation. Really good. Thanks everyone for joining. Thank you, Juno. Thank you, Weston. Awesome.
Big thank you to Joe, DeRuler, Pluto, Cube, everyone that popped up. Really appreciate the conversation and the insight today. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks so much.
Have a
See
good
you
one.
next week.
Cheers.
Take care, everybody.